Masking is so underrated. So today I'm gonna show you how you can make your videos look more creative and effective at the same time. Here's a video I created for my client. Let's turn off the effects layer and show it to just the plain one. So this is how it looks like. It's good. Hmm. Everything looks just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Good composition, depth, sharpness, lighting, color, everything is fine. But how can you make it any different? The creative touch is missing. So here is what I did. I just duplicated all the cuts of my layer and right click, selected all of them, right clicked and nested as one sequence, and then right click, replace with After Effects composition. So I already did it, so let's just undo that. I already have a layer of it, so with all the effects so now as you can see how the text is being passed through the slice of pizza is just passing through the text. That's how it feels like, but it's just a 2D but with 3D transforms. Let me just show you. So as I have already created this layer, right click, just click edit with original. It will take you to the After Effects interface. Here I already have it, so I'll just show you breakthrough what I have done, because I don't want to create everything from the scratch. That will take just a lot of time. So the entire sequence is just placed here, and I just created a bunch of text layers. And with the camera is just took 50 mm focal length, and the f-stop is 1.4. That's the exact f-stop that I'm using here in my shot. So the camera gives you 3D depth when you create 3D layers. So I'll just walk through one by one. So for the butter chicken pizza text, I just created a drop shadow, as you can see with these attributes, and I duplicated the same one and I put it above the layer, original one. And if we select that, you can see the mask, right? So let me just bring out the keyframes that I created. So I just simply created a mask around the slice where it's just passing through, and you have to observe to make it more realistic what it is. Let me just turn off the layer. So as the pizza is being lifted, you see there is a shadow being casted, or the light coming from this side. So matching the same height of the pizza slice, so I have created the shadow of this text. So when it hits right at the spot where the shadow of the text and the shadow of the pizza matches, so that's where we are going to animate this pass through effects. It's just passing through text, right? So these are the keyframes of the mask part, and these are the keyframes for opacity. So opacity is simple, just it's 100% to 0, but it is being inverted as of our mask, because we don't want that part. So usually what happens is when you create mask, it just masks out the area that is outside of this mask. If we just select this option as invert, then it does the reverse thing. So whatever is in the mask is being hid now. So I animated the path of mask by selecting these points. So you can just select like that, it masks out everything. So just like that, I have keyframed them as we go move forward in the video. That is it. So this part is done. So one thing to remember is just to match and play with the shadows. So as you can see, the light is casting shadow of this pizza slice. We also created the shadow matching with the same opacity, color and everything, the distance also. So at right point, you just have to figure it out in whatever video you're doing. So in my case, so this is the right height for me to pass through the text. So I created the keyframes here until it's being reflected in my shot. So that is the part. It's simple, but it is effective, right? Let's just play one more. See, wow, it is so easy, but it just gives the viewers a more creative approach. Without that, let me just show you, nothing going on, right? It's just a good video. These are the tiny things that matter in creative process. So let's move on to the other parts of the video. So here it is just simple thing. I created a text layer, and in the same layer I created a mask, and I linked the text to its path, so it automatically aligns to it. So wherever you draw, let me just show you. If I just select this part and move it, it moves along with the path. Wow. So that is it, and let's move on to the next one. So before showing how I did this, I just want to make sure that it has to be complementing with the video. If you just create this effect randomly, then it won't matter what you do, but it's just not gonna look realistic, or it's just not made for that, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you see the elements falling down in the shot, the actual shot, original real-time shot, this thing, the coriander, the capsicum pieces and all. So in a similar way, I created the text and matching the pace, the speed and pace of these ingredients falling down. Let me just break down this to you. And this is just a simple text layer, and I have turned it on to the 3D one by clicking this option. If you click this, it just becomes 3D and non 3D. So let me just undo that. And I have also given motion blur. You just have to do this part at the end, because otherwise your system is going to be busted. So let me just break down. So the camera I have created here is fixed at a focal point. I place my text here and keyframed it its position. So if you can see, let me just bring out the things I just used in this. So I have given keyframes for position, orientation and opacity. Orientation is nothing but different axis of rotations from here, like this: z-axis, x-axis and y-axis. The same way position is placed y-axis, x-axis and z-axis. If you are just using a 2D layer, there won't be any z-axis. So the benefit of 3D layer is you will get another axis to play with. So where we are here. So this is my hitting point. Here the text is going to hit on the slice of pizza. So this is my focal point. So I created two keyframes, one for position and another for orientation, that is nothing but rotation. I moved back at the beginning of my layer. Here I again created two keyframes, but with Z frame being positioned in the space, the 3D space. Wherever I place it, just the focus will automatically get blurred by depth of the camera. So how you do that, let me just show you. You have to just check this option, enable depth of field. If you disable this, there will be no depth in your scene, so you have to enable that. So once you do that, if you position your z-axis, it will look something like this. So how did I created that hitting effect? So right after hitting, I just let me just zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, the text is being rotated here. Nothing but rotation. There is nothing. So it's a quick rotation. There are only like one, two, three frames in between this animation. So I have keyed the rotation here. So as soon as the text comes in my focal point, I created a quick rotation that looks like it's just hitting the pizza slice, and from there to here I have given more rotation, and also the position is being pushed down the z-axis, if you can see here again. So the position is fixed, it's just falling right from here to here, but as per rotation, we to make it more look natural as the things falling, I have given more rotation to the text. As you can see, it's moving in 3D space, and also the opacity as the text reaches to its ground level. I just wanted to be disappear. So let's just play that one more time. See, the word falls. Let me just turn off other layers and just play with this one. Comes, hits, and falls down. This creation part is little bit just tricky. You just have to figure out your own way, and if you have a better understanding about how physics works in real time, then it's just that is it. So in the same way, I just kept duplicating the layers, but I randomize the animation. Let me just turn up position, rotation, everything is just randomized. It's just the same text layer. And here, if you see this mozzarella text, let me just turn on it. So I gave it more different kind of rotation. Here it's just being like flipped, you see. Yeah, so that gives a little bit randomization in what's happening. If you kept the same animation for every text layer, then it's just gonna look robotic. So give it to give it more realistic look, I have just made some randomizations. Let me just play it through again. Passes through the text, ends, and text falls, hits, flips, and disappears. That is it. These are the just very simple things to do in your videos, but it's gonna make a huge difference of the output you're going to produce. I'm just curious how you're going to use these techniques and create something creative. So once this part is done, you just have to turn off the actual video layer, because you don't want this to overlapping with your Premiere Pro color guide. See, it's just overlapped here. So once you're done with that part, just turn off this layer, hit save. That's it. It's automatically going to be updated in the Premiere Pro. Just wait for it to take the effect. That's it. It's updated now. So with your color graded adjustment layer on top of it, you just have to place on top of your adjustment layer. Otherwise you don't want text, or if you have given any color to your text, then it's going to affect the entire thing. So always keep your extra effects on top of your color graded layer, so it won't affect your effects that you created. So let's just play that again with music. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new. It's just so easy, but you just have to think through and do it in your own way. Thank you so much for watching. See you another video. Till then, bye bye. And don't forget to subscribe.